there, welcome back to Listen to Leo. In today's video, I want to use a Langchain chain in order to help create scripts for YouTube videos. And so what I'm going to start here with is the basic chain that I demonstrated in a previous video, and we're going to modify this to actually make it useful for writing YouTube scripts. And so what we want to do is think through the steps of writing a YouTube video script. And so what do we want to come up with? And so, I think a good starting place is the topic. And so let's see. So what is a good title for a YouTube video about topic? Cool. So now we have this. We're going to start with the title. I think that's a fairly straightforward place to start. And then, for the next one, we can go ahead and take that title. And so let's say, write an outline for a 5-minute YouTube video about title. Sure, that seems good. So using Copilot there to help some things. And so let's see. And then we can actually just do a third. Okay, cool. And so now it'll take the outline from above and put that into an actual script. And let's see. So one thing I want to do here, I think I just tried to autocomplete GPT-5 there. That would be impressive. And actually, we'll see if this works. I don't know if I can just pass in GPT-4 because it is a chat model. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's kick it off. I also kicked it off with a topic of colorful socks, so we'll see what it spits out with a YouTube video about colorful socks. Yeah, so I will actually need to do it with a chat model. It's throwing Okay, so that looks like our title right there. Does take a little bit to run using GPT-4. It's one of the slower models. That's all right. That's a pretty good outline, I'd say. So we start with an introduction, get into the history of colorful socks, why you should wear them, both the benefits and popular occasions, choosing the right ones, how to style them, the future of colorful socks, and a conclusion, and then an end screen. You kind of have to love that it even threw that in. This is really where the context of starting with the idea about a YouTube video, it really was able to capture exactly what that was and understand, typically how those are created. And so that's pretty cool. But something to really keep in mind here when we're building chains is that it's a really good way to do things in bite-sized chunks, right? I don't necessarily think I'm going to get a fully finished script from this, but I spend a few minutes just writing it, and it doesn't take very long. And what it's going to do is it's going to spit out a starting point. Now, I think one of the biggest misconceptions people have with AI generated content is that you just generate it and then post it and you're done. I don't necessarily agree with that. Sometimes I do, but not really for writing. And here we go. Here's our script, that looks pretty good. Cool. So there we've got it. A 5-minute approximately. It's not very good at the timing part, but usually it generates a script that typically I could do in like 3 minutes or so. But again, it's a starting point. I don't think you should ever consider this to be a finished product. But instead of having to come up with everything on your own, all of a sudden you're 75 or 80% of the way there. And, it's something that you can easily iterate on. So let's say, you take your outline. One of the things that I want to do, because the content that I create is related to newer technology, and a lot of the OpenAI models go they don't go beyond 2021 in terms of what they like will say no, and that's not really a great way to phrase it, but essentially they don't know about newer things. And so what you can do is you can actually also work to integrate things like Google search. And so after I build out the outline, I could do a Google search on each section to find resources, to pull in accurate information. And again, I use the term accurate here fairly loosely, but it's going to be more accurate than if it's trying to guess about things, 2 years beyond when it was trained. And so you're going to be able to get better, more up-to-date information to include in these prompts. And so instead of kind of just writing a whole script, you could actually go section by section, do a Google search for resources and information, and then do the script based on those resources. And so you can really break it into smaller and smaller pieces, and you're going to get closer and closer to a finished product when it's done running. And that's really where I think things like Langchain are going to be hugely beneficial to creators, because as you develop your process, you start adding in AI in small places and just go and extend and iterate. And overall, you end up with a very, very efficient process that you have created. And that's really where this ends up being pretty cool. Thanks for watching.